Beyond the noise of the world lies a quiet library where time holds its breath. Here, three friends walk among the shelves: Louis, who saw the invisible world of microbes; Marie, who touched the glowing heart of the earth; and Albert, who measured the very curves of space. They have gathered to discuss a mystery that cannot be solved with a pen, a lens, or a laboratory. On a table of polished oak lies a small, worn book by Thomas A. Kempis titled The Imitation of Christ. Its pages carry a timeless warning: be careful not to search too deeply into this mystery with curiosity, for those who peer too hard into the depths of majesty are often overwhelmed by its glory. Albert rests his hand near the open book, while Louis looks on with a knowing, gentle smile. Louis spent his days looking through microscopes at tiny creatures that no one else believed existed. To him, every new discovery was a hymn of praise. He believed that the more he learned of the physical world, the closer he stood to the Creator. For Louis, reason was never a rival to faith. It was a servant that helped him see the hem of a divine garment. A little science takes you away from the truth, Louis tells Albert as they walk through the garden. But a great deal of science brings you back. Albert nods, his mind dancing with complex equations. They discuss how a scientist must remain humble, like a child standing before a vast library where the books are written in a language they are only beginning to learn. Marie worked in a shed that smelled of pine and chemicals, chasing the hidden energy of the world with a mind as sharp as a diamond. She believed only in what could be measured, weighed, and proven by logic. But the glow she found in her vials, the pure rationalism she lived by, carried a weight that began to tire her spirit, leaving her searching for a light that logic could not explain. Louis visits Marie in her quiet laboratory, seeing the blue light of her work and the weariness in her eyes. "Reason alone can be a cold fire, Marie," he whispers softly. He reminds her of the words of Kempis, that if we try to master the divine with only our minds, we risk losing the peace that passes all understanding. Albert often sought a middle path. He did not look for a personal God who watched over every sparrow, but he felt what he called a cosmic religious feeling. When he played his violin or watched the stars, he felt the presence of an immense, superior mind at work. He possessed the awe of a believer, yet he stayed at the threshold of the chapel, afraid to step inside. Marie asks Albert if his equations ever feel like prayers to the unknown. Albert looks away from the night sky and toward his friend. "The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious," he replies. They realize together that while they seek the how of the universe, the why belongs to a realm where even the brightest mind must eventually bow its head. Louis and Marie return to the small book in the library. They read a passage together. "Human reason is weak and can be deceived, but true faith cannot be betrayed." Marie touches the yellowed page, considering the quiet peace Louis finds in his prayers, a peace her test tubes and measurements could never quite distill. As the sun sets over the library of the mind, the three friends sit in a comfortable silence. They understand now that the great mystery is not a puzzle to be solved, but a presence to be respected. Like Kempis taught, they realize that the highest wisdom is to walk humbly, letting faith lead the way when the light of reason reaches its end.